Hey guys, it's Ethan from Zimmer Labs, and this is my newest custom Kylo Ren helmet with built-in voice modulator to make you sound like Kylo, and or a few other things as well. But this is the V1 version of the helmet done with the Anovos Premier line helmet. This is just about the nicest Kylo helmet that money can buy as far as you know, readily available on the market. There may be some others that are unique custom pieces that might be even better, but I haven't seen them. This is essentially the definitive Kylo helmet. Extremely detailed, fiberglass, one piece, really nice chrome, nice padding inside, which we'll get to. It's got a nice mesh. You can see right through it there. A nice mesh eyepiece to give you good visibility and screen accuracy. It's got multiple pieces in the front end of the mask here in the face shield area. It's not just a single piece, so it's more detailed and more realistic, screen accurate. And then the bottom cowls or chin guards are rubber, which makes for a bit more comfortable mask. And just all in all, a really nicely done piece. This is definitely fully functional. It's comfortable. The visibility is good. It's not something that's uncomfortable or annoying to wear. You can definitely wear this helmet for long periods of time without, you know, hating it or going crazy. But that being said, it's definitely, as far as my opinion goes, I would call this more of a shelf piece than the Hasbro Black Series option, which is the other relatively high-end Kylo helmet that exists. Mainly because it's fiberglass, and fiberglass is extremely rigid and hard, and therefore doesn't have any give. So if somebody smacked this hard, or if you dropped it, or if you're just not super careful with it, you could crack this helmet pretty easily. And especially in the front end here, like if you were to drop it and it landed on the front end of the chin area here, this would definitely break. I don't know how badly it would break, but suffice it to say, this is not something you want to beat up, because it's not going to handle abuse really well. The Black Series one is probably something you want to consider if you think that you're going to be a little tough on it. You're going to wear it a lot, and it's likely to be dropped or abused or whatever, because that one's made out of a sturdy plastic, which is going to be able to handle abuse without breaking. This guy, I did essentially nothing to the exterior of the helmet. The fit and finish that you see here is just exactly how it comes. It is weathered and battle damaged with some scratches and scuffs that are really truly scratched and scuffed into the finish. Some white areas that are revealed, and that's actually a layer of paint that's beneath the top two layers. The way they finish this is by doing a matte black or satin black coating, probably paint, and then a layer of transparent gloss black kind of spattered all over it to give it some rough texture and to give it some shine but not make it too shiny. And then underneath that is, I'm guessing, some white primer, so that when they scratched it, it revealed the white to give it that battle damaged look. And it looks good. Definitely did a good job. On the inside, we have full padding throughout. It is a really soft, like velour, about a 1/4 inch thick padding all around, and then removable pads that are velcroed in, as you guys can see. Those come with the helmet, and those are adjustable. You can put it in whatever orientation. You can put the pads wherever you want. There's the tag. It says Anovos, Star Wars, Lucasfilm trademarks, and so on and so forth. But these pads are, as I was saying, removable and, you know, adjustable to fit your head, because everybody's head's shaped different. I've got kind of a cone head, so as you can see, for me, this is the proper setup because I got more head on the top and the back because of my cone head, so no padding back there, so it kind of fits in there. But then the side ones kind of lock the helmet on, keep it tight to the side of my head. And this is, just having these 5 pads is sufficient to actually have this be a pretty good fit and have it be pretty stable on me. It's not as stable as my other custom Kylo helmets that have the Jackson safety suspension, hard hat suspension with the ratchet in there. Those like literally lock on and you can't get them off except by undoing the ratchet and taking the helmet off. But nonetheless, this guy fits on nice. The main upgrade and modification that I did here is, as you can see, got a microphone built in here into the face shield that is going to be right where your mouth ends up sitting, and a voice modulator that's got 8 different voice changing settings, and then a recharge port and main power switch. There is a lithium battery in here underneath the padding, and then this is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless RF, no, not RF, UHF transmitter. All of the components in here are powered by the lithium power supply. This guy and this guy both have independent batteries to begin with, but those batteries have been removed to make way for just the one main larger battery, so that you don't have to worry about charging each thing independently, turning them on independently. Just click that one switch, and now this guy's on. This guy, unfortunately, has to be turned on too because it doesn't have a hard latching switch like this one does. You see it's got a tiny little micro latching switch there. If you leave that in the on position, then all you have to do is hit this switch to get this on. This guy doesn't have a latching button, it's got a momentary switch, so you have to turn this guy on as well. But once it's on, you'll see that there are 8 different holes up here, and there are these 2 buttons to toggle through them. What I did to make life easier is I removed the LEDs that correspond to each of the sound fonts that don't sound like Kylo, and left the ones that do. So when you get one that goes green, you know you're in a good voice font, so to speak. The other ones work, and they do still do their thing, but they're just not, they don't sound anything at all like Kylo. They sound like something completely different. So rather than have the LEDs come on and be confusing, I just, I took them out so that if it's green, you know you're in good shape and it's a Kylo font. And if it's not, then you need to keep going and find one that is. Personally, my go-to is the one called Female Change. Magic Sound and Deep are the other options. So there are 3 distinct voice fonts that this can do. And depending on how your voice sounds, how deep your voice is, what your voice sounds like, each one may work better for you to make you sound more like Kylo. There is no, be-all, end-all Kylo Ren sound. It's, to do it right, it requires a bit of practice, a bit of research, a bit of understanding about, how he talks, how he uses inflection, when he speaks, when he uses gaps, the flow of his speech, and also, how you angle the microphone and how close you put it to your mouth when you talk. All these little things affect how it comes out on the other end. So a little practice with this is definitely advised. The more you practice with it, the better you'll get, the more you're going to sound like your Kylo. But with this voice changer, as opposed to the ones I've used in previous helmets, you have 3 different options, as opposed to the previous helmets only had 1. So that's a nice upgrade. Then this UHF 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. This has got a range of 160 feet, supposedly. I do believe it because it seems to work really well. It's got an antenna inside that I ran up and under this padding, so it goes all the way up and around, so it's got a big huge honking antenna inside here to really maximize the transmitting area. This sound changer is velcroed in, although velcro seems to have come off, so I'm gonna have to fix that before I can say this is done. But at any rate, so this can be kind of readjusted if need be, but I think right here is a good spot for it. And then, like I said, main power switch and recharge port. So if the battery gets low, you can just plug in here and you're good to go to charge it up. In an emergency or in a pinch, you could charge through this USB port here, or this USB port here, if you didn't have a 1.3mm recharge cable or a battery charger. Ideally, what you're going to want to do with this is use, and I will include a cable like this. And this is, as I was saying, this is a 1.3mm recharge port here. So you just plug it in, like so, and when you do plug it in, regardless of where this switch is, that kills all power to everything else in here. So, you know, it's like, for those of you guys who know lightsabers, this is like a kill key for the helmet. So you plug this guy in there and everything else shuts off, so that when you're charging it, you don't have to worry about the electronics getting fried. You can use whatever amps you want, however fast you want to charge this battery up, and nothing is going to get damaged. On the other end of this cable is a dummy cell. So you just stick this guy right into your battery charger as if this was a battery. The red end obviously is positive. Stick it in there, press charge, and then it's going to charge through the cable into the system and charge up the battery that's in there. Now, as far as how this works, because this helmet is padded and fiberglass, so it's thick, there really is no good place to put a speaker into this helmet. Those of you guys who have seen my previous Kylo Ren helmet videos, you know that I like to put everything inside the helmet, be self-contained and have everything in there, and not have separate items and not have separate pieces, just, you know, to make it easier to use and simpler. But this guy just, there is no good spot for it. I mean, you could put really, really tiny small speakers up front here, but that's not going to sound good. They need to be big to get the voice you want and the sound you want. You need to have a pretty good sized speaker. And the speaker can't be anywhere near the microphone because that's going to cause nothing but feedback and horrible noise. So there's nowhere to put the speaker in here, let alone there's no venting in this helmet for the sound to come out. So rather than mount a small speaker and start drilling holes in this, despite the fact that I don't like doing it this way, I opted for going with an external speaker. So this is part of the setup. This is a 30-watt wireless Bluetooth and UHF and radio frequency receiver speaker. It's really loud, it sounds really good, and it's got a lot of uses. I mean, it's got a belt clip and a lanyard clip here. You can use an SD card or USB, and you can plug a mic directly into it as your recharge port here for this. And just turn it on. Turn it on. Up top it says hi. That's very nice of it. But if you have this, if you push the M button, that's the mode cycling button. SP is for speak, as in you're speaking into the microphone. If you hit the next button, you get blue. So if you have a Bluetooth device like your phone or your tablet, you can use this as a wireless Bluetooth speaker, and that's great because it's, you know, super useful to have one of those. Or you can go further up to radio, and now you can well, I haven't messed with it very much yet, but you can change the FM dial setting and listen to the radio on this guy, or you could use a radio transmitter instead of this 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. You can use a radio transmitter to transmit your microphone into this. So this is a super useful, super versatile, really nice, heavy-duty, large, good-powered speaker. And I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to crank it up, The other knob you see down here is reverb, so if you want to, you can give it some echo, but for me personally, Kylo Ren doesn't have an echo to his voice, so I just leave it turned all the way down to none. So this guy's on max. Go ahead and turn the helmet on. You know it's on because there's a little blue LED you can see through here. Turn the voice modulator on. And she is live. Like I said, I think female change sounds the best, so we'll pop this guy on and give you guys a quick demo.
General Hawks. Is it the resistance pilot? The one from the village? FN 2187? The map to Skywalker. Where is it? You know what I've come for. The map to Skywalker. You have it. And now you're going to give it to the First Order.
Not bad. Let's try magic sound. This one's a bit more heavy duty.
Where is it? Let's go ahead and turn this down a tiny bit. Where is it? So as you guys can see, this is very deep and a little bit echoey and really loud,
and it sounds a bit more like a monster than it does Kylo Ren, but for some people this might sound better.
And this is what it sounds like.
Next up we've got Deep. Deep is my second favorite, and all it does is take your normal voice and slightly deepen it a little bit. So this does sound, if you're practiced at doing Kylo's voice, this does sound pretty good.
How capable are your soldiers, General? They're obviously skilled at committing high treason. Perhaps Leader Snoke should consider using a clone army. I want that map. For your sake, I hope you get it. Comfortable? So you want to kill me?
And then there's all sorts of fun ones, like, let's see, cycle back to the first one. I think this one's called Wizard. Hello! Yeah, this doesn't sound like... Actually, this is more like a walkie-talkie sound. I think this is the font that I use for my Imperial Trooper helmets.
These aren't the droids we're looking for. They can go on their way. We don't need to see their papers.
Yeah, this is definitely that. So this is a cool kind of walkie-talkie sound. This might be Wizard.
Hello. This is the Wizard Echo Chamber.
Yeah, it's just kind of an echoey one.
How about this one? This is a high-pitched Kylo Ren voice sound.
And we got
This one. This is even higher.
And then finally,
Hello.
yeah, even higher. So this one sounds like you've been ripping helium balloons.
Ooh, that's a really good helium balloon. Wow.
So all these are options, but like I said, there are three that are much more useful. And like I said, this is my guy.
The droid. Where is it? I want that map. I'm impressed. No one has been able to get out of you what you did with the map. Where is it? Where is it? The map is Skywalker. Where is it? There!
Love that. That's so much fun. And then you want to shut it down, just turn it off, one switch, good to go. Actually, I lie. Turn that off and then you gotta turn this guy off also. This guy comes with your 9-volt charging cable, lanyard, so if you want to hang that around your neck, USB cable for recharging. As I said, it's got a belt clip right here, so if you want to wear this on your big, thick, beefy ass Kylo belt, you can do that. Or if you want to hang it around your neck on a lanyard underneath your shirt, so it sounds, so the sound is coming out right from your chest rather than from your belt area, but you put it under your shirt so people can't see it. That's probably the ideal way to wear this with a Kylo costume. All that stuff is included along with the dummy cell recharge cable. And that is the V1 Anovos Premier Line Kylo Ren custom voice modulated helmet. Anybody with any questions, feel free to hit me up. This guy is available for whoever is interested, and stay tuned. I'm going to do a quick video next of my Hasbro Black Series Kylo V5 helmet, which, just as a warning, it's kind of the same thing, just different helmet. But anyways, thanks guys.